Chris, and welcome back to another video on the 2018 Kia Soul Plus 2.0 GDI. We're going to do brakes and rotors today. I know in the past I have shown how to do brake pads, but I'm going to show you how to do the rotor too, which involves a special Phillips screw, and we'll get into that in just a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to jack up our vehicle first, and the point to jack it up is, so underneath your car here, this is the front tire. See that big bolt right there? Oh, God, right there. That's where you want to put your jack. That is the frame section of the unibody meets the engine cradle, and that's a strong point to jack your car up. So we're going to start by taking our tire off, jacking the vehicle up, putting a jack stand under it. Alright. Start by removing the caliper. Make sure you put your knees like right in the rocks, 14 millimeter on a 3/8 drive. You can just smack them a little bit. Sorry I'm in your way. There's a bolt on the bottom and a bolt at the top. If you need a more detailed, in-depth look on how to do brakes, I did another video on this exact vehicle several years back. Now these rotors are pretty good, and they could be turned, but they're the original rotors, and I'm real lazy, so I don't feel like messing with them. Normally you would squish them together and you could get your caliper to release. You can either wire tie it or sit it up here. See these things right here? These little springs? They're to help keep your pads like pressed against the caliper so they stay separated when the brake is released. There's these little tab bastards here too. Save these because not all your brakes give them to you. And then repeat for the inside. Your inboard pad's always going to have the metal round dots. Now, because I need to take the rotor off, I need to take this off. Back bolts, which you can't see, are 17 mil, and they're tight. I suggest using a 1/2-inch wrench. But if you don't give a crap about your bones, you can smack it with a 3/8 drive, and after you snap your wrist a little bit, it will the bolts will come out, and this piece will just come off. Now if you want to be smart, you can put your bolts back in the part. That way, when you lose them, you'll run around for an hour looking for where the bolts are, and then you'll remember you put them in the part so you wouldn't lose them. You can even put the caliper bolts in the top part. Now you're thinking, hey, I could just pull this off, right? No, no, no. Hyundai and Kia and all modern manufacturers decided it would be best. They put big Phillips screws in there. They screwed the rotor on. Unlike every other car on earth where you just pull the rotor off when you pull the tire off, they decided to put Phillips screws in here. So you gotta get an impact driver and a hammer with a Tanya sticker on it. And make sure you're on reverse. And make sure you got a rock right in your freaking leg. Hold on. Oh, God. The idea of this is when you put it in here, when you hit this, it will loosen this thing. There we go. Once you pop it loose, you pull this stupid Phillips screw out that will allow you to take your rotor off. This is the dumbest thing ever, because these will just rot, pop the head off. Once it breaks it free, it usually comes out. There you go. Now you can simply pull your freaking rotor off. Sometimes this will do it. Oh, looks like we got one side. There we go. There we go. So there's the back side of old rotor. That's salt. Let me throw that out. Here's our new rotor from AutoZone, which is the wrong rotor.
2 hours later.
We take our correct sized rotor. These are packed with a light grease, like a WD-40 type spray. So get yourself some carb cleaner. I'm using Hooper's Hooch. It's 99.9% isopropyl alcohol. And I'm just going to spray this down. And then wipe it off. And you want to make sure that you F up the alignment, screw holes lined up, so you can put these little stupid screws in. They're going to bite you in the ass in the future. You don't have to do this. It's just to hold the stupid rotor in place. But if I don't do it, somebody in the old comments will yell at me. No! You don't have to put these in. And I'm not man-tightening these. I'm just giving them a little one ugga. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these things out. See these little metal things? You get new ones with your kit. So go ahead and pop those out. Now it's also a good idea while you're in here, if it's crusty, mine's not too bad, wire wheel this or brush it out to get the rust off of the thing. It's aluminum. So we're going to go ahead and put the caliper bracket back on. These are Duralast Gold from the old AutoZone. You should get a kit like this. It's going to have all your new metal components. These little stupid spring things. They're all the same exact part. It literally lays in here and snaps down. That's it. And if they don't fit, give them a tap to knock them in place. The 2 dots pad is your inboard pad. Squeal tab down. Now you see these little lock things. Sometimes I'll just give them a bump up and a bump down. That way the pad slides in there a little easier and doesn't get all bound up. You can put automotive grease in those pull out the rubber dudes. And if they're stuck or frozen, give them a pull. They should move freely and you should feel the goop. If they're dry or rusted, pull them out, wire wheel them, grease them up, replace them. I don't need to because mine are in good health. Now your caliper, mine's kind of rusty in there and it's crusty in here. I'm going to take a C-clamp and squish this back in. So I take an old brake shoe or brake pad and I just put it in here. These, unlike the rears, are not the kind where you got to screw them in. And if you don't have a C-clamp, put your caliper back on with an old brake pad and just pry it against the rotor and it'll be fine. With your caliper squished, your caliper squished back in, grab these new dudes and there are holes on the brake shoes themselves. And you got to stick these in there like this with the arch piece facing the center. Your pad will want to eject itself. But you put your caliper back on now and put your bolts back in. Final wipe down to get any fingerprints or schmutz off. Now go in the car and pump your brakes a couple times till the pedal feels firm. And after you've depressed your pedal a couple times, the rotor and the brakes, the caliper will squish back in and you'll be good to go. Now, here's an important safety tip. If you had really low brakes and you've been adding brake fluid, you might want to check your reservoir prior to squishing your caliper back in because you could push that fluid back up and overflow your reservoir. All you got to do now is put your tire back on and you're done. And that's how you do brakes and rotors on a 2018 Kia Soul Plus. I'm going to go ahead and repeat for the other side, but that's all we got for this one. You can do this. It's super simple. The only tool you might need is an impact tool. It's a screwdriver that you smack and it does up like 200 foot-pound of torque on a screw. Now we don't round those little stupid things off. So I just finished both sides. Final step after you put your lugs on is to torque them. Kia factory specs are 127 Newton meters for all you metric people. That's 94 foot-pounds in America, where Jesus lives. So give them a cross pattern torque till she clicks. There you go. And run around them one more time, just to be sure. And that's it. So with that and the car noise, you should have nice, good brakes now. Go take it on a test drive, and you should be good to go. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.
You'll know from funny, you bastard.